Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I now call the meeting for the Standing Committee of Economic Development and Environment to order. At this point, do we need to do a prayer, or are we consider prayed up for the day? Prayed up for the day, folks, are good? Okay, seeing some nods. The next item is to review and adopt the agenda, and we only have one particular item. I'm not sure why the notes look like this. Anyway, we're here for a hearing with respect to... That's fine. We're here for a public hearing regarding Bill 11, an act to amend the Motor Vehicle Act, and before us we have the Minister of Infrastructure before us. That said, can we proceed to identify the committee members before the meeting to officially bring them in for the record? I'll begin at my far left. Mr. George Nairsu, please.
George Nairsu, the MLA for the Mackenzie Delta.
Shauna Morgan, MLA for Yellowknife North.
I'm Julian Morse, MLA for Frame Lake.
Danny McNeely, MLA for the Sahtu region.
Good evening, I'm Kate Reed, I'm the MLA for Great Slave.
Thank you, everyone. As this committee hearing is being televised to our millions of Facebook subscribers around the world, I must encourage all members to proceed their questions through the chair, so you please wait to be acknowledged. That said, even though my opening remarks are probably not in order, I'll now proceed to the Minister and ask her to introduce both her delegation, and at that point, please proceed to your opening remarks after you've done that, and then committee will begin. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening, Chair and committee members, anyone watching online. I'm very happy to be here to be able to participate in this committee hearing. With me today from the Department of Infrastructure, Alison Scott on my left, Director of Policy, Planning and Communications on my right, Andy Terposky, Director of Compliance and Licensing. Also present in the room with us this evening from the Department of Infrastructure, Jeffrey Nichols and Harrison Bale, both Senior Legislative Advisors, and further we have Sue McKinney, Legislative Counsel from the Department of Justice, and Drew Robertson, Ministerial Special Advisor in my office. Mr. Chair, as far as opening remarks, brief summary, Bill 11 was introduced in the Legislative Assembly in October of 2024. It is a package of amendments to the Motor Vehicles Act, changing how information held by the Registrar of Motor Vehicles can be shared. First, the amendment, one of the first amendments will protect consumers by allowing anyone shopping for a used vehicle to independently verify its registration history. The data would not include information about a previous owner other than the municipality in which the vehicle was registered. Consumers already have this power in every other Canadian and U.S. jurisdiction. In practice, these searches will be done by private companies who will then access our records via the Canadian Council of Motor Transportation or Transport Administrators. Second, an amendment will support the Northwest Territories Bureau of Statistics to conduct its population count by allowing the Registrar of Motor Vehicles to share information from driver's licenses with the Bureau. Accurate population counts help inform policies across the GNWT. Information shared with the Bureau will be limited to information needed to identify individuals such as name, birth date, and address. It will not include sensitive information like driving records. After committee reviewed the legislative proposal, the proposal was expanded to allow the registrar to enter into information sharing agreements with any GNWT department or federal government body and not just the Bureau of Statistics. Before entering into an agreement with another body, the registrar will have to be satisfied that sharing this information will benefit the public and that the body accepting the information can properly safeguard it. The department informed the Information and Privacy Commissioner about this change and has responded to questions from the Commissioner. And third, the amendment will prevent fraud by providing the registrar with the proper authority to use facial recognition technology to verify that anyone applying for a driver's license or general ID card does not already have one. These searches will be conducted internally. A privacy impact assessment in 2020 was generally supportive of the use of facial recognition, recommending some minor additional risk mitigation strategies. And finally, an amendment will reduce red tape by making minor changes to the application process for persons applying for copies of their own data from the registrar. None of these changes are significant, but we anticipate that infrastructure will be providing some messaging about information sharing in order to ease privacy concerns. Going forward, current and new applicants for driver's licenses and general IDs will be informed of the ways that their information may be used in accordance with Access to Information and Protection of Privacy Act. With that, Mr. Chair, we'd be happy to respond to any questions from committee.
Thank you, Madam Minister. Now that I'm also working off the correct page on the right script, I also should inform that if there are any members of the public at this particular time who would like to comment once the Minister's concluded her portion of the discussion, please register your name with our committee clerk and he will assist to ensure you get into the queue. Folks, so we're now one more thing before we begin, of course, to questions of members, I would like to note for the record the committee has reached out to the Office of the Information Privacy Commissioner, Mr. Andrew Fox. He has provided us some comments, and in discussion with committee, that is, we don't see them as confidential, and hence we will share his letter with the Minister's office. He's highlighted only two areas that I won't get into far detail, but one area was concerns about the regs, in alignment of that, and the other area, of course, is the alignment of the information with a particular provision of the Act. But you'll have that letter before you, and you can take his comments as they're provided. That said, I'm now going to open up the floor to members if they have any particular questions with respect to Bill 11 that is before us. Things are moving smoother without the script and not getting caught up in them. Okay, folks, last call. Any members would like to discuss the Bill 11? We have our millions of subscribers waiting for us. Okay, not seeing any. Madam Minister, did you have any final remarks, if you wish, before I say thank you?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, committee.
That concludes committee's business specific with the Minister.